This video is designed to teach the basic fundamentals in learning a squat movement. The first component we are going to learn is which part of the body moves first. This is called a hip hinge, and performing it correctly will result in putting the forces onto the muscles in the legs rather than the lower back and the knee joints. First, stand with your knees and feet shoulder width apart and your arms crossed over your chest. Imagine your body in two halves, your torso, or your upper half, and your legs, your lower half. The first movement is to flex or bend your torso at the level of the hips, hence the term hip hinge. In this example, we will exaggerate this movement so that it can be clearly seen. Once this movement has been performed, you then move your backside down and back in a smooth, fluid motion until you are seated. A common error is to bend first at the knees, which we will demonstrate in this example. By bending at the knees first, we place a large amount of pressure on the knee joints and the lower spine. It is therefore important to perform the hip hinge as the first movement. With practice, the hip hinge becomes a natural and small movement which flows into the squat exercise seamlessly. Now that we have mastered the hip hinge, we can use that to complete a squat involving a bum tap on the chair. The exercise involves a hip hinge and lowering the backside down and back towards the chair, lightly tapping your glutes on the chair and returning to a standing position. The chair is there as a guide to make sure that the bum does move backwards and down, placing significant pressure on the lower leg muscles. These examples have shown an exaggerated hip hinge, but the next example coming shows a small, subtle hip hinge that follows immediately into the squat movement down and backwards. A common error is to arch your spine backwards, which is most easily observed as someone looking up high at the wall. This results in craning the neck backwards and a lot of pressure on the lower spine. To avoid this, focus on a spot 1 to 2 meters in front of your feet and focus on this spot throughout the squat movement.